like so many other sports, but it's so different than so many other sports. You have so many other guys. If you just go into the logistics of trying to keep 80 plus guys on the same page and with the food they need, the equipment they need, the uniforms they need, it has to be a big challenge.
Well, you just kind of answered the question right there a little bit. We got, it starts with with the budget, and I develop the budget for the program every year, and then that really sets the plan for the year as to what apparel we're going to get, what uniforms we're going to get, what equipment we're going to get, where we're traveling, so on and so forth, and
get that big trophy and bring it back.
Well, I don't play with X's and O's. I don't play personnel. I don't deal in any of that because that's not how I deliver value. I deliver value. I like what I tell everybody. What do you do? I block for the coaching staff. That's my job. Anything that I can do to allow them to spend more time on football and our student athletes, that's my responsibility. So.
Hey, we appreciate you blocking for us as well, sir. Thank you so much.
I was saying, how things changed since you were playing? Did you even know a position like this could happen back then?
No. When Coach Seaman and Coach Kramer had 2 full-time assistants, and then an army of GAs, 6 or 7 GAs, and they did everything. And I mean, we didn't even have my first 2 years. We didn't even have pregame meals. You went out and got something yourself, and we played, and we had 2 jerseys and 1 pair of pants, and it was very basic and very simple. But you know what? I wouldn't trade it for anything. So
thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, Coach, at the end of practice, normally, sometimes you'll have a special guest. You'll give them one. You got one today. What is it like when those guys show appreciation for you like that at the end of practice?
Well, I was mad at them. I don't know why they did, but it made me feel good, But it calmed me down a little bit, and I wasn't mad at them. I guess. I mean, we had a good practice. There were highs and lows of it, of course, but I think it makes you feel appreciated. Just like, hopefully we communicate enough with our players where they understand that they're appreciated here, and so I've been involved in coaching a long time, and I coach these players hard, but I hope they do understand that I'm always there for them. And I've always loved my players. I've learned that through the years, just being around my dad and him being a coach, and the relationships that he built with his players throughout the years. So I want that, and I want that even for my coaches. So it felt good for those guys to give me. I don't know if I've ever got a one before. Actually, it might be the first time there, Blake.
I'm glad I got to see it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to see it.
I was surprised by it.
I did want to, while we're on the topic of appreciation, we had talked about doing our last report on Team Behind the Team, so I'm going to ask you some of those questions now. We talked with Coach Shannon. That's something that when he was playing, a position like that didn't exist. He said his job is to block for the coaching staff.
Right.
Can you explain how valuable his blocking is?
Well, in all my years of coaching, except really for the last 2 to 3 years, we have to wear a lot of hats. You just have to wear a lot of hats at this level. And, you have to handle dorms, financial aid, academics, fundraising. So there's a lot more to it at this level than just going out and coach football. And Tripp provides us, he like he said, he blocks for us. So he's the guy that helps organize things, helps with fundraising, alumni, ordering equipment. That's a process, like a big homework assignment, all right? And he does that, helps with checking the inventory, all right? Things that I don't like to do as a head coach. I mean, I don't like numbers, okay? He does. So he makes our job easier as coaches, and we all appreciate him, and I appreciate him so much, and this program is so important to him. This university is so important to him because he's an alum, and he has an interest in this place, and I know that he cares, and he does a great job, and he is definitely a team behind the team.
Well, I think all of that last sentence you just said can apply to Sports Information Director Don Wiest as well. Can you talk about just the relationship years as he's watched you build this program up?
Well, I've known Don ever since I went to college here, and when I was playing, Don was in the training room. So it was weird at first when I first got the job, which was a long time ago, of course. But me and Don have had a relationship forever since college, and Don is someone that if I ever need him to help me with whatever it might be, facts. He would win every trivia of Emporia State. He tells me things that I didn't even know that I'm not even thinking about. All right, from a standpoint of what we've done, whether it's offensively, defensively, or an individual player. He's another person here at Emporia State that he has a genuine interest for this place. He cares about Emporia State. And when you have people that care about the university and where they work at, you're going to get the best out of them. And it goes the same thing with Don. And we're all thankful now. I know Don is. I know I am, especially like with me being able to have Trip, Don being able to have help in his department. It makes things better as a whole. Look at the videos that we're putting out on social media right now. All right. 5-7 years ago, it would just been Don, and I would have to be trying to find somebody around campus to come do it. Now Don has that, and that's nice. It's this university will always be an academic institution. There's no question, but athletics is a priority here now, and it feels good.
You have complimented your training staff and Leah and her staff so many times. Can you just speak to what she's meant for the guys, and when they need Leah's help, they really need her, and I know that she works hard to get those guys back and feeling 100% as quick as possible.
No question. Our guys, we've had to been in the process, say the last 2 years of trying to get some assistant trainers hired, and there was a spring where we didn't have Leah. We didn't have her during spring football, and our players noticed it, and they didn't like it, to be quite honest with you. So that tells you how important she is. She is always there. Being a trainer is very difficult because you got to have your phone on. You got to, if you go on a long trip and somebody gets hurt, she's got to go to the hospital and stay with them. It's time consuming. And, you talk about being a servant leader. She falls under that category. She does a great job. She communicates with us every morning about injury report. She knows how I am, all right, which she knows I might forget something and she may have to remind me. She knows the things that she needs to tell me and things that maybe she needs to let my assistants know right now. All right, that we'll wait until Coach Higgins when we need to. So she just has a feel for that too as well, and again, another individual that's the team behind the team. And a lot of people don't realize how special all of those individuals are because they make your program better. They're not catching touchdowns, all right? Don's not going to run a deep route, okay? He's going to get covered, all right? But he does everything else to help our program. Tripp's not actually going to block, all right? He might miss a block right now. He did play tight end. I don't know how good he was. I never played with him. But he does everything else and helps us move forward.
Speaking of those guys, where do you guys go as a coaching staff now that you move to night practices in terms of trying to firm up the two deep and get those rotations set?
Well, kind of gives us a chance to catch our breath a little bit. I think we're starting to pull back on them a little bit, not as far as practice time. Yesterday we got after it in practice. It was a big long practice. Today was a little long too. We didn't do as much hitting. But it gives us an opportunity to kind of take our breath, evaluate. We're getting ready to go into some situational football that we need to get taken care of. We talk about depth chart, and then we got to get ready for tomorrow's Friday. School starts Monday, so I'm a big believer in our players getting started off on the right foot. So academically, we're going to make sure that our class schedules everybody is enrolled in what they need to be enrolled in. Everybody knows where to go. We'll have an academic meeting on Sunday night. Tomorrow, it kind of gives us time to check on our guys with things that are not involved with blocking and tackling and running a route and catching a ball.
Thank you, Coach.
All right.
I
I did a lot of hand
we did a
movement.
lot. That's all right.